I used to think one of the biggest misconceptions about owning a Lamborghini is that it's all about driving the car. Honestly, after owning mine for over a year, I spend just as much time watching everyone else's reaction. There are certain things that happen almost every single time I take this thing out. Some of them are awesome, some of them are hilarious, and a few can actually be a little bit dangerous. So here are my top 10 reactions that I see, that I get whenever I'm driving my Lamborghini and whenever people see it. Number 10, this one happens every single day, but people start driving really weird. This is by far the thing that surprised me the most. The second people see the Lamborghini in the rear view mirror, it completely changes the way that they drive, especially on the highways. Some cars slow way down so that they can stay quite close to me or next to me. Others floor it just to catch up and do their absolute best to keep up with the car. Some speed up past me and then slow back down. Happens quite often. A lot of times cars go speeding by, they downshift a gear to kind of show off their own car whenever they're passing by me. It's almost like normal driving goes completely out the window. But the funniest part is watching people completely forget what they're doing because they're focused on the car instead. Yes, this happens every single time I get onto the highway. Literally, as soon as I take the on-ramp and jump right in, it's like the car in front, it starts to veer off into the breakdown lane. You can start hearing the groove pavement noise that you see on the highways. It's almost like as soon as I jump onto the highway, cars that are already going at speed immediately start to coast and slow down. You literally feel like you're Moses whenever you are just going through the highway. And then whenever I'm in the fast lane, if I'm approaching somebody at speed, probably 8 out of 10 times they will just veer off and let me go along the fast lane, and then they'll get back into the fast lane and then try their best to kind of keep up with the car. Number 9, they drift into my lane. This honestly happens way more than you think. People are staring through their mirrors, looking over their shoulder, trying to film. You see phones coming out, you see people reaching for their phones. I look in my rearview mirror and I see phone pointing at me. They try to point me out to whoever is sitting in their passenger seat, and the next thing you know, they're halfway into my lane. It happens so often that I'm constantly watching everyone around me. Owning a supercar almost makes you a defensive driver because everyone else gets very, very distracted. And that's completely normal. Honestly, if I was somebody else and I saw a Lamborghini behind me, I would do the same exact thing. So no harm, no foul there. A lot of times I do see it, but whenever I can tell that somebody just saw me in the rearview mirror, it's almost like they see a ghost and then they kind of almost freeze. Their car will still be going at pace or just begin to coast, but it's almost like the way that they were driving. As soon as I kind of come around the bend or come around the corner, it's almost like they kind of pause and then just begin to coast their car. Number 8, you can read people's lips. This is something I never expected. You pull up next to another car, you look over, and you can literally read people's lips. A lot of times you can read the lips saying Lambo, Lambo, Lambo. They're trying to get everyone else in their car to notice before you drive away. You don't even have to hear them. You already know exactly what they're saying. Number 7, this one is probably one of my favorites. It's kids go absolutely crazy. This is honestly my favorite reaction. And I'll tell you why, but one thing I did want to mention is that a lot of people have been asking me what exactly I did to go from a Honda Civic to a Lamborghini within 5 years. I get a question every single time, and a lot of people ask me about the way that I manage my finances and what exactly my path was and what exactly you could take away from it. So if you want to, there is a QR code here. It goes straight to a blueprint or a program that I've made to basically help you go from 0 to Lambo within 5 years. So yes, number 7, kids go absolutely crazy. You'll see kids in the SUVs or minivans standing up in the back seat. Sometimes I don't even see their faces, just their silhouettes through the rear window, bouncing around, trying to get a better look. It's super cute. They're pointing, waving, telling their parents. Seeing how excited they get honestly never gets old. Something that happens every single time. Even a lot of times whenever I'm about to put away my garage, there might be a kid on the street who just sees it, and it's the most adorable thing whenever they're just standing there and then they just kind of pause. Number 6, the gas station turns into a car show. I mentioned this in almost every single video. You can almost guarantee that if I stop for gas, someone's coming over. Usually it starts with, what year is it? A big one is, what do you do? What can they do? The second one is going to be probably if they could take a picture. Sometimes they're with their kids. Sometimes it's someone who's dreamed about seeing one in person. That is also one thing I keep in mind, is that just because I own this car, it's still a thing where a lot of people out there don't really see it day to day. So being humble whenever owning the car, in my opinion, is a big thing. If they're respectful, I'll even let them sit inside the car. Those moments are honestly pretty cool because you can tell that they're going to remember it for the rest of their lives. Number 5, this one has been happening since day one, and then I think it's because my car is colored black. I'd say most people call it a Aventador. It's actually a Huracan EVO Spyder. I don't really blame them. To most people, a Lamborghini is just a Lamborghini, so I just smile and say thanks. Obviously, if you're a car person, you can definitely tell the difference, but again, to the general public, also because of the fact that the car is already rare, a lot of people do just think that it's a Aventador. Especially the Evos and the STOs, those definitely look a lot more like the Aventador than the first generation Huracans did. Number 4, the convertible is a game changer. So one thing I've noticed about buying the Spyder, and I'm really glad that I did because this does just kind of level up the whole experience of owning a Lambo. People feel way more comfortable talking to you when the top is down. It's almost like there's no barrier, so it's almost like an invitation to chat. People wave and ask questions as soon as you're creeping by. People talk at stoplights, say congratulations. It's a totally different experience. Now, if I'm trying to stay low-key, I'll put the top up and roll up the windows. It's almost like turning invisible comparing to having everything open. So this is a huge thing, and I'm really glad that I got the Huracan EVO Spyder because of this, is that there are days where I'm completely open to just having conversation and being more out there, I guess you could say. But then there's other days where I just want to be left alone and just kind of be on my way. With the Huracan EVO Spyder, you do have a mechanical top that can go up and down. Tinting windows is a big one too. A lot of times if the top is down and I'm driving, I will also just kind of roll up the windows as well to just kind of have a little bit of privacy. But if your top is down, if your windows are down, you can best bet that almost everyone will try to talk to you, even on the highway. Number 3, to circle back to it, people want a picture every time. Not just of the car, with their families, with their kids, couples, and tourists. You'll see a lot of people try to line up for the perfect shot. Nothing wrong with that at all. I think it's awesome. It's kind of funny because your car ends up being part of someone else's memory. Number 2 is everyone wants to know what you do. I personally caught myself asking the same question to other Lamborghini owners as well whenever I was just about to get one as well. I would ask everyone what they do without fail. This is the number 1 question. What do you do for work? People are usually way more curious about how you got the Lamborghini than they are about the Lamborghini itself. And honestly, I completely understand that. So when I get this question all the time, I basically say the same thing. I worked as the DJ in the beginning for weddings, and I built a huge reputation for that. Slowly transitioned into doing YouTube as a full-time gig. Not this channel. There is another channel before this one that I did that has over 150,000 subscribers. And that YouTube part was the one that really blew up a whole lot, that started generating passive income in order to get this. But I would say the number 1 common job title or trait that everyone really has is just being their own boss, their own entrepreneur, having their own company. Keep in mind, you can make a lot of money in my opinion, but if you're working 6 to 7 days a week and you're having a hard time trying to enjoy your car, that's also another thing to think about. It's like you have the money to afford the car, completely fine, but if you're tied to a clock, it's not as fun owning the vehicle. So the challenge is to kind of not only be in a position to make a lot of money and afford the car comfortably, but also have your time freed up so that you could actually be out there, enjoy the car, network, and go on rallies, which I think is the most fun part about owning a Lamborghini. Number 1 out of this whole list, people recognize the car weeks later. Someone will wave at a stoplight because they saw you last month. Someone at a gas station will say, "Hey, I saw you on the highway." You almost become known by the car. It's a weird feeling because you realize you're never really anonymous anymore. So yeah, if you have a supercar, and then I would say especially if you have a customized plate, you're definitely going to single yourself out a whole lot. So again, this is not a car you use for privacy at all. Complete zero. This is also why I have a Honda Civic that blends in really well throughout the day as my daily beater. But yeah, I would say you almost become a local celebrity. So if you're in a smaller town, you probably have the only Lamborghini in town. People will recognize you by the car. You become the talk of the town. People start to know where you live, which could be a little bit dangerous. Hence why I always say to get a remote location to park your car away from your house. But owning a Lamborghini obviously gives you an incredible driving experience. But what nobody tells you is that how much it really changes every interaction with complete strangers. Some people get excited. Some people get curious. Some people get distracted. Some inspired. But after a full year of ownership, watching people's reactions has honestly become as entertaining as driving the car itself. It becomes a part of the show. Don't forget to check out the blueprint or program right down below. It will definitely help you out. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe to the channel, weekly content every week. I will see you all for the next one.